Once again, it's on, good people. You got the dark-skinned Drake. And today, my topic is basically for the people that look at themselves as African Americans or, or go as far as to look at themselves as Pan-Africans and stuff like that, right? This is for you. I watch a show on YouTube with a guy called Dynas. I've been on his platform a few times. Search for Uhuru, whatever like that. I jokingly call it search for African booty scratches, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how I look at it, you know what I'm saying? Because we in a serious time right now in Black history in America as far as the Black diaspora here in America. A lot of people are realizing that we've been bamboozled and hoodwinked and lied to and land stolen from right up under our noses and stuff like that. And we just got a lot of pain and turmoil that exists right here on this land for a lot of Black people. So you got Black people that have been searching for their ancestry, their roots, and things of that nature. And some people have, roots that may lead back to Africa and things of that nature, while others, they're just wishful thinking, right? Because their mothers, grandmothers, even great-grandmothers were born right here on this soil. Now, we at a time and place where you have Black Africans going along for the get along in order to basically appropriate or misappropriate capitalism for their country or their region or their village or whatever. So what they're doing is saying, welcome to my brothers and sisters from the United States. We will welcome you into our family. You are our ancestors and all this good shit, right? So that's what they doing. That's their new lick. That's their new come up, right? So now they have to come up with a story, right? We kings and queens in Africa and this and that, and you come over here and you bow down to us and we tell you some mumbo jumbo and give you a name. Listen, I don't know what spiritually this does for people, but it actually setting Black Americans back another 400 years. Because you got to ask yourself, okay, I'm going to come all the way from America with my money, my resources, to come bow down to a make-believe chief, right? Because if you were such a chief and you're such a great African warrior, where were you hundreds of years allegedly ago when the transatlantic slave situation was going down? Where are the African kingdoms of kings and warriors that made crusades back and forth to the United States for their brothers and sisters that have been caught in captivity? I'll give you a minute. Please put it in the comments below. Please give me an answer to that question. And so, if that hadn't happened, and all of these places were colonized by pale-faced invaders, right? Then where and which kings should Black Americans come over the Atlantic to bow down to? Who are you to bow down to? That's what I'm trying to find out right now. because you say some ancestral mumbo jumbo, and it's weird. Half of these Nigerians, especially, it's like 800 million Nigerians, whatever. At least 400 million of them speak English. So let's get that understood. So while you're over here translating to a man who completely, clearly understands exactly what you're saying to him, you're getting it translated back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But you still bowing down to this person, and you don't know his credibility, you know. And what's so sad for the Black African Americans that come do that, y'all are the worst booty scratchers ever. Y'all are the worst traitors to your race ever. Because the thing about it is, you go all the way to Africa to bow down at the feet of some dusty, crusty African, right? But you don't even have respect for your own biological father, because you let a black woman probably brainwash and manipulate you against the guy, right? So you will go thousands of miles to meet somebody that you don't know, who is not directly linked to your ancestry, and you will bow down at their feet. Black people, it's a lot we got. It's a lot we got to do for our manhood. It's a lot we got to do for our respect. It's a long way we got to go before we can be looked at as anybody in the world. Because this is what I'm saying. What Africans you know that come all the way from Africa that apologize for the transatlantic slavery, for one, and then for two, that bow down at the feet of another black man? Please show me the footage, because I've yet to see it. And that's where I'm having this conversation. That's why I'm bothered. I'm bothered by the fact that you have grown black men in America that would pay money to go bow at the feet of another black man that you're not even biologically related to, that you have so much high esteem and respect for. Please, in the comments, explain that African booty scratching ass mentality to me, because I'm lost. I don't understand it. I don't condone it. I don't see a need for it at all. And then they'll tell you some mumbo jumbo about the ancestors, the same fucking ancestors that sold my so-called ancestors into slavery. You got to be kidding me. So I'm bowing down to sell out ass niggas that never did nothing for me? Make it make sense, black people. Please make it make sense to me in this comment section today. Because all of you Africans, I'm not against you. Please don't take this as I hate Africa and that I don't like Africans. No. I respect the Africans that stay their ass in Africa and are clueless to what the fuck we got going on over here. Them the ones I respect. But the ones that come over from Africa, misappropriate the culture, use the culture, misuse the culture, abuse the culture, and go back to their African roots, are booty scratchers. Okay? They are booty scratchers. So, those are the ones that I have a problem with. And these type of brothers. I'm going to speak specifically on this brother right here in this photograph that's bowing down to this fake chief or whatever you want to be, right? This man, okay, everybody that came up, there's a lot of black women from America that came up, a few black men. Most of them all bowed all the way down, put their face on the ground, and you know, showed him his kingly respect or whatever you want to call it. This particular brother, this caramel melanated brother, who clearly stands out in the room as having no African lineage whatsoever, right? He you know, he comes, he tries to bow, but he doesn't put his face all the way on the ground. And I see that the king or whoever, the chief, the fake chief or whoever, had a major problem with that. So he's basically, you know, getting in dialogue with the guy, translating back and forth. Clearly the chief speaks perfect English, right? We know that this chief, you're a chief. How the hell are you a chief of an African village and you don't speak English? Let's get that all out the fucking way and everything like that. If y'all are so naive to think that these people made it to a level to be a chief and all this other type of shit and do not speak American English, you are a fucking fool. All right? So this guy, he goes back and forth with the so-called chief and everything. You could tell that the chief really want him to bow all the way down, because he pointed his feather at him like, nigga, bow the fuck down. And the nigga didn't really want to bow. He gave him like the Chinese bow. He stood up. And then he just stood up over the chief like the whole time. And I could tell Dynas was kind of like uncomfortable behind that shit, because this, you know, you in the middle of Africa making a stance and shit. You feel me? So it's like, you know, it's that whole little dynamic though. Like, I gotta go over there with a fear and a fear of my life and a fear of God and a fear of respect and all that, but I'm supposed to be giving you my money. I'm supposed to be bowing down. I'm supposed to be learning the culture that you're hiding from me, because it don't even exist. Because if you really had some culture, you would have your own culture instead of some made up bullshit you had to come up with after colonialization or whatever the fuck, when the white people put their foot in your ass, right? So now you coming up with all this fake pseudo ass culture, you know, making food out of bullshit that humans probably can't even really even supposed to consume, right? And you will call it tradition and ancestors and all that. Okay, let's go back to the ancestor word, right? My ancestors is my dearly beloved mother who passed away. My ancestors is my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my uncles, my homeboys, my people I knew that I paid libations and poured libations for in life that I knew. Them is my ancestors. A bunch of old Coogee, Chagalia, Koofy, tinfoil hat wearing ass niggas is not my ancestors, bruh. Let's get this clear. I will not pay homage. I will not pay respect. I will not praise a deity or a religion or a spirituality that is outside of myself, bruh. That's only meant to oppress me. So my question to the black people that are willing to pay for your oppression, to go all the way over to Africa and bow down at the feet of some crusty foot ass chief, right? My question to you is why? Why choose to be an African booty scratcher when there are so many problems and so many things that our brilliant black minds can solve for ourselves right here in America, where our real ancestors are? Because, let me ask you, when you go to these people's site, right? These people is economically well, bro. They bougie. They bougie as hell. They got the bougie Africans, the bougie African Americans, the whole bougie little whole aura. You know what I'm saying? Money exchanging, a little human trafficking. Oh yeah, let me get into my little human trafficking thing for a minute. When this brother Dynas goes over there to Africa because he got another trip coming up. So y'all go down and go get your tickets or whatever and take your ass over there to Africa. But the whole thing about it is he don't never account for the people that he take over there. He usually take mostly women, and he never accounts for who comes back. And nobody even questions it. Y'all niggas is getting resold to Africa. Because let me tell you something. If I'm an African and your ass willing to pay me to come over here and bow at my motherfucking crusty ass feet, I'ma slave your ass. You ain't going nowhere. You a willing ass participant into the bullshit. So to all of my so-called Pan-Africans and people that so loving Africa and want to go over there, don't get mad when your monkey ass gets snatched the fuck up and can't come back to America and get extorted. Because they told you in podcasts and things like that before how they do business and the price of doing business in Africa. So what it is once they find out that you got money or whoever because you from America or whatever, now they just start figuring out how much they gonna charge you and what they gonna charge you for. Once you run out of money and your resources are no longer necessary, you just another nigga in Africa, and they're probably gonna do worse slavery than what the white man did however many centuries ago, right? Because you already see the oppression that they do to each other over there, right? So this is just a cautionary tale to beware and to be very, very alert when people trying to sell you on Marcus Garvey's views of back to Africa. And by the way, should I mention, Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican that got basically rejected by Jamaica and even ran out of Jamaica, came to America, and never actually made it to Africa. But he was a successful black leader of putting thought into the minds and the hearts of melanated black people all across the world. So I must give him the most highest respect and praise for being the catalyst for that type of thought, for us to even have these discussions here on YouTube. But once again, he never made it to Africa. So to the so-called Pan-Africans and all these people that are so hyped up about going over there and finding their roots and learning about their ancestors, I would suggest they talk to their living ancestors in their family and start from there. Because if they don't and they skip that process, they ain't nothing but an African booty scratcher. And I stand by that. And that is a major issue and a major problem in a Black American society today that we need to continue to address and get help for. So on that note, I would like y'all to keep viewing these videos, like, subscribe, share, comment, donate, don't hate. And if you don't relate, that's cool. Drop your comments in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be somebody that you ain't and put a little paint where your booty stank. No, I just want to say something real fly like like these other people on YouTube and everything like that. But at the end of the day, y'all, it ain't no hate with me or nothing like that. It's just that, you know, like they say, man, telling the truth ain't hating. And I'm just telling the truth.